All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and start working on getting this windshield installed. Before you get your windshield installed, though, I would recommend that now is the time to install your windshield wipers and your washer fluid assembly if you're going to do that. Just because it's much easier to be able to reach right on over, reach right through your glove compartment where your gauge cluster is going to be, and do that now. So I did take a few minutes to bench test my windshield wiper assembly and my windshield wiper switch. So I can go ahead and take a picture of those from the directions, and I'll include that in this video. But I got this back installed. It's pretty straightforward. It's just those 4 bolts to put these assemblies back on. There's just a little nut underneath here. Put that on. And then you have these nuts on the outside. That's just a spacer, and then your nuts right here. I did put a seal between here and here. If you don't, it will twist and tear up your paint, as I started to do over here, but thankfully that's hidden underneath my little gasket. So another thing is you'll want to take a few minutes, make sure that this is all clean. I got a little bit of water sitting here, and I got some dust left over down there. So we're going to work on getting that stuff cleaned up and get the gasket installed. If you really want a good high quality video on how to do this, I think it's Precision. Let me see. The company that made my gasket recorded a 30-minute, very in-depth video on how to do it. So what was it? Precision Replacement Parts, and this is for the Dodge A100 or 108 windshield. So anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started on that. All right, guys, so now that we've got this up, we're going to go ahead and seal this gasket. Now, for sealing this window, we're actually going to use 2 different sealing agents. First, we're going to start with this. This is going to go between the rubber and the pinch weld. Now, supposedly, what's good about this is that this will never harden. Whereas this, which seals the glass to the seal, will harden. So this, I'm not exactly sure why this is better for that application, but that is what the people at Precision Replacements recommend. So I'm going to follow along with what they said. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and peel half of the gasket back, do the top edge of the pinch weld, and then do the rest of it. I also took a minute to go ahead and install my speakers that are going right up here, because it's going to be easier to do that now than it is after that windshield's in. So, all right, we'll keep moving forward. All right, guys, so we got the window in now. You can see that it's definitely a 2-person job. It's not something I'd want to tackle by myself. What you saw us spraying was this foaming glass cleaner. That makes it so that it's a little bit more lubricated for when you're trying to push the glass in. I also picked these up from Harbor Freight. They were only like $2 or $3 or something ridiculously cheap, so it was well worth it for 2 of them. And then we were also using these little plastic knives for setting the windshield and moving the gasket. Definitely recommend them. And they actually came in a pack with these 2 other tools for locking the bead, but we're going to get to that in a minute. So our next step is, now that we have the glass in, we have to go ahead and seal it. So this is the hardening sealer that we're using from 3M. And all we're doing is we're just putting a small thin 1/8 bead in all the way around. So we'll just lift up the gasket and put it in. All right, guys, so now that that's all sealed, we're going to go ahead and put our locking strip in. So I got this tool for doing the locking strip, and what it does is it allows the locking strip to fit right in front of it. So this will open up the gap for it. So usually these come with several different options, one of these 2, or you'll see usually another one sticking off the side. You just want to remove those extra ones so you don't accidentally scratch up the glass. So we're going to go ahead and start this now. We're going to put the foaming glass cleaner on it again, and then we're going to start right here in the center, go all the way around, and then cut it back in the center. And then we'll run another strip that goes up the middle. So all right, guys, so there you have it. We have the bead installed, and then after we got the bead installed, I went ahead and sprayed the outside down with glass cleaner, and then tried to cut it out, or cut out any extra urethane with a blade. That did not work as well as it looked when I saw other people do it. So I got that idea from that precision replacement video, which I strongly recommend. If you're looking to do this, don't just go off of this video. Go watch the video put out by Precision Replacement on doing this. They do a fantastic job. If I remember, I'll try and link it in the description. But anyhow, they showed spraying it down with glass cleaner and then scraping it, because that would prevent it from smearing. I don't know if I just waited too long or didn't wait long enough, but it didn't cut very good. So if I had to do this over again, I think I would actually wait until it completely dried and then try and do that, because I kept having instances like this up here, although that might be from the other gasket, but where as soon as I cut it, it dried out on it, and so it didn't want to or I'm sorry, it wasn't totally dry, so once I cut it out, I re-exposed it and then it smeared. So anyhow, just a thought. So we're going to go ahead and start working on getting the other windows put in. So that's going to be these fixed windows back here and the 2 bigger ones up there. So alrighty, guys. All right, guys, so you can see that we just got that first window in. The way that we're doing it is with the rope trick. So I got this tool, although I don't think the tool was probably necessary. I could have just done it with rope, but I have it anyhow now. And so what we do is we get the glass inside the seal first, and then we'll take this rope, push it in where the pinch weld is, or where it's going to go over the pinch weld, and then we run a rope all the way around it, and that's what's going to allow us to be able to pull it over this lip. So the point of this tool is to help you seat it down inside this groove a little bit better. I found that I was actually able to get it in there better by hand, but oftentimes, but right now it's working pretty good, so it can be convenient when it's working right. So we always want to start at the bottom with this, is my understanding. So we're pulling it all the way around, and then we're going to pull them past each other here. So we're going to keep one end of the rope over here, another end right here, like so. And we're going to go ahead and throw some soapy water on it, or the spray a foaming glass cleaner. All right, and then we will throw a little bit around the sill itself too. I'm going to reposition the camera so you can see it. Alright guys, so when we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and get the bottom lip in first. Let's start with, right, we got to get so you can see once we start getting this bottom lip going, we can pull this rope around and it'll pull the seal right on over this lip. Hannah, I need you to push up top for me. Okay. So as we start pulling it around, now try and push down on it, hon. Or let me do this. So you can work both sides of the rope to help you get it to where you need it. All right, can we push this down at all, hon? Okay. There we go. All right, Hannah, you want to give that a good pat? Pat the window.
Pat it?
Yeah, just make sure. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, that's all there is to it. We'll go ahead and do the next two big windows next. All right, guys, so we got our 4 windows in now. You will notice that I did not use sealant on these. Now, when I took these off of the van, they didn't have sealant in them before. So I'm going to try going without sealant. I know we did use sealant on the front windshield, but I figured that's getting a lot more direct water, and also it's slanted. Hoping that with these being like this, they do angle in there pretty good. So hopefully we have a tight seal, but if they do leak, these aren't that hard to take out and put back in, and we'll reseal them then. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and call that a night. We did go ahead and take the window tint off, which you can see left a lot of glue still on it, so we got to figure out some way to remove that glue. So if anyone has any tips or tricks for how to remove that, please let me know, leave me a comment, and appreciate any help you can give me. So this concludes us. We now have all of our windows in all the way around, minus those 2 pop-out windows because I'm waiting on 2 new hinges. And in a separate video, I talk about resealing the doors, and I'll talk about putting these windows back in. So anyhow, I'll catch up with you guys next time.